So we've got some visitors from got a visitor from Bangkok today. So we're just taking them up to one of the temples in Chiang Mai. And then we're just going to go and explore another few places. So let's take you on a little bit of a journey on what my Sunday looks like here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. Look at that beautiful Buddhist temple behind us. So let's keep walking. Wat Phra Tat Doi Kham was built in the period of Queen Jama Tiwi of Lamphun by both of her sons in BE 1230 or AD 6A7. It contained the Lord Buddha relics, temple mall, Mens and Stucco Buddha, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Its old name was Swan Na Ben Pot Temple, but villagers like to call it Doi Kham. According to its history, it was a deserted temple with its broken treasure house, such as Phra Rod, Luang, which is made of ancient sandstone with its gold and big size, and Phra Sam Hon soil Buddha image. The renovation of the temple in the area nearby since BE 2524 AD 1981, the temple has renovated the pagoda and the main Buddha image, Lord Buddha Napi Siping. And then in BE 2538 or AD 1995, the statue of Queen Jama Tiwi was built in the back of the temple yard, and there was a religious ceremony in 1995. Statue of Luang Po Tan Jai, which has produced same way as the one in Miramar, with grand ceremony to make it very respectful. The rule is you can pray for one thing. Once you got it, you must come back and offer jasmine garland, at least 50. You can see local people really revere the Luang Po Tan Jai Buddha, which is believed to grant wishes in return for jasmine flower garlands. The garlands are sold by vendors along the road leading up to this particular temple. Walking around the pagoda area, visitors can see small houses of gods and goddesses who protect the temple area, as well as such as two giant gods who protect the temple ground and people in the area. The statue of Wasutep Rusi, the hermit who used to meditate up on Doi Satep mountain, protect Doi Satep temple as present. Queen Jama Tiwi of Harapunchai, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, of Lampung province, as well as some other gods and goddesses around the pagoda base. The renovation of the temple and the surrounding area was in 2524 BE or 1981, and the big Buddha image which we could see from the foot of the hill is called Phra Buddha Napi Sarimping Karatana. Stairs carved in the form of white nagas, mythical white serpents, lead to a calm and quiet lookout point which offers a panoramic view of Chiang Mai. Visitors may revel in the crisp fresh air and marvel at the picturesque splendour of the valley spread out before them. In addition, the lookout point boasts a beautiful carved wooden pavilion decorated with hanging bells tinkling in the breeze. The temple grounds includes a large terrace that gives a vantage point out over the fields and towards the city below. You can always also find the Hindu gods Vishnu and Ganesha hanging out on the viewing platform and enjoying the scenery. This temple you can get here by the red tourist buses, or you could catch a grab up here, or rent a motorbike or a car to get to this particular location. And it's open between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. And I'll put the address in the description below. But as you can see out on this viewpoint, I love coming out here just to take photos, because you got like the sleeping Buddha over there. Well, yeah, I see it as the sleeping Buddha. You got some seating area where you can sit and relax, some beautiful decorations out the front. And you've also got this very tall Buddha looking over the actual Chiang Mai, basically, because to the left here, you have beautiful lookouts as well, where you can see the whole of Chiang Mai as you're looking down here on the valley. During smoking season, it's a bit clouded, but when it's not smoking season, it is quite a beautiful view over Chiang Mai and just seeing the whole of Chiang Mai. You can walk up the top here, but it is a real hike.
And unless you're fit or you're going to do it in the early morning, I wouldn't recommend doing it. It's better just to get up the top. But some people do it as part of it, their prayers, or some people do it just as pure exercise. And these are just some other prayer areas within the temple. And you got some local school kids there that were playing traditional music whilst we were actually there. And yeah, and I hope you enjoyed some of the history that I sort of dug up online, and I'll put the link to that history because it is fascinating always learning about where these temples come from and how long they've actually been around for. And we come up here a lot, and as I spoke about earlier, there was the thing where you come and pray, and if you get the one thing you ask for, you come back and bring jasmine. But after that, we went to a local noodle shop on the way to Mon Jam, and I do love these local Chiang Mai noodles. Always delicious and always enjoy it. And this is right at the bottom of the road before you start going up the mountain to Mon Jam, this particular noodle shop on the left as you're going up. Always worth a stop. So we've just walked to the top here in Mon Jam in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And there's a lot of little markets here, and I'll show you some of them on the walk back down. You can pay for a motorbike to drive you to the top of this hill if you feel like it, once you're parked. But we always come to this cafe here, mainly because it has a nice garden, like I'll show you. But it's also got some hot food as well on the menu. So you can see a few of the things up there. Hot coffees. I'll go around a bit, show you a little bit more. So you can see there, apart from a range of desserts that you actually have up there, you've also got hot and cold drinks up here. And they also sell some of the herbal teas over there. Give you an idea. So yeah, so as we walk around here, if you're after any of your herbal teas or some of your local coffee beans, so what's that? 350 baht. Can't see how many grams that is, but it feels heavy. Doesn't say it clearly on there. Maybe about 250 grams. Then you got your various herbal teas, like your chrysanthemum tea, jasmine teas, or long tea. So you got a lot of options here. You also got jasmine tea. You got some of their local exotic wines as well. They make up here in the mountains. If you wanted to try some locally made wine, see, white fruit wine, 450 baht. When this place is actually clear, you can see off into the valleys into a big distance. But today it's quite misty. But it's a beautiful place to just sit and relax. You can pay a fee and walk amongst the garden there as well. Just gonna say, this was very fresh and extremely delicious, and I really enjoyed it. And the coffee was pretty good too. They make a really good hot coffee up here in the mountains. So yeah, give the desserts a try and the coffee. And it's just really nice and peaceful, just sitting here, chilling, having a coffee and generally relaxing. So slowly the fog's clearing and you're getting to see a bit more of a view up here. But it is beautiful when there's no fog there. So yeah, depending on what you're interested in, there is a lot of traditional sorts of arts and crafts here, a lot of clothing wear, all made by the locals. Well, all Chiang Mai style, I should say. They do the go-karting up and down here. We're just going to walk to the other side there in the distance. Don't know why this iPhone 14 Pro goes in and out of focus. It just annoys me when it does that. Yeah, it's doing it constantly. It's funny, when I do the normal zoom, it goes in and out of focus, but if I zoom out like this, it stays in focus. I like it in here. It's quite chilling and relaxing when you're walking up and down here. If you're visiting Chiang Mai, you can probably catch one of the red buses up here. So cute when they dress up in their traditional clothes. There's a few extra sort of stores here. Like cafes, restaurants here. Let's just walk down here and have a look. Yeah, it's like 20 baht entry to walk amongst the flowers there. It's not overly expensive at the end of the day. Look what they've done over there with the hand that you can stand in the middle of. That's quite creative. You've got a few different cafes here where you can just sit, chill, have a coffee, and just relax. That's why I like this area during flower season. Just a nice area, just come for a Sunday drive. Again, pretty much a coffee place at every corner here. But yeah, I think this side you get a nice, really beautiful view. And over there in the distance you have all your sort of glamping, your sort of little resorts where you can come camping as well. And but glamping's a fancier thing than camping, a lot more comfortable. You can also rent little huts up there on the hill. Quite beautiful overall. Oh, they've really upgraded this place since I was here last. These markets have a variety of things, whether it's your local teas, coffees, t-shirts, fruit, vegetable, clothes. They have all sorts of things along these markets, including some of their local mountain wines as well. And we often buy vegetables here or fruit here when we're up here. But yeah, if you're after some traditional clothes or some t-shirts, Monjam t-shirts, things like that, you're going to find them up here. Give the wine and their whiskey a go. Who knows, you may actually like it. And see, there's a mass variety of selections, and they do let you taste before you buy. So they have a few bottles there where you can just give it a bit of a sip. And here you go, you've got some of the Monjam t-shirts that you can get, and kids' clothes as well. So yeah, they're marketing their local tourism products, some various scarves there. And yeah, so there's a few nice things up here in the mountains if you're after a bit of shopping and supporting the local villages there as well. But we like walking past here. I haven't bought much from the markets apart from some teas or some fruit and vegetables when I've been around here, because I don't need much. And yeah, and some of the local products growing up in the mountains here are pretty cheap. And so that's what we usually buy when we're along here. But if you're after other tourist items, they are here. See those motorbikes on the right? They will drive you to the top of the hill for a little bit of a fee. Sometimes about 50 baht, I'm not sure, but they'll drive you to the top. You always get worried about living on these hills, especially building buildings like that, because all over Monjam, when you're driving up the hill and just driving around generally in these mountain areas, there's constant landslides occurring, especially during the wet season. So yeah, it'd be a different life living up here in the mountains. Chinatown, I think. So they sell so much of their mountain wine up here, but me and Anne find it too sweet. Is that stuff you like, my dear? Your snack stuff you like? I like sweet potato as well. That one. Even down the bottom here, apart from your fruit and veg and your nuts and other things you can buy down here, and clothes and different types of wines, there is a whole bunch of equivalent to street food restaurants along here as well, where you can stop and eat. Your car park's 30 baht to actually park here. But yeah, so if you haven't tried some of their wines, they do let you taste it, just to see whether you like the stuff or not. So give it a go. Remember, I got some of their equivalent of local whiskey, and God, that was strong. Not sure where Anne wants to go next on our Sunday trip, but yes, we're getting around. We've had our noodles, we've checked out a local temple, we've come up to Monjam, and the journey continues. I'm just letting Anne show her friend around, just go, tell me where to go. And I have absolutely no idea where we're going yet. So, surprise. So, off to the next location Anne wanted to visit. And I must admit that this next location was quite beautiful, though we did have to drive through some of these mountain villages to get there. But it wasn't too far from our previous location. Now, here's a view up here in the mountains around Monjam area. So we came from right over there, and we've come up because Anne wants to look at another flower garden. But there's also a lot of glamping up here as well. So over here you have your glamping as well, so you can book rooms up here and stay. But we're just going to walk to the top there and see this flower garden that Anne's obsessed with. So it just cost us 40 baht for our parking. You gotta love these cabins though. Looking right over the hills here. It looks like they got bathtubs in the front of them as well. That's so cool. I have to remember this location. Looks like these cabins got an area you can stand on the top too, where you can just take some photos. But even from this angle, the view's bloody awesome from up here. So yes, we've come up to this other flower garden here. It's cool, we want to check it out. It's like it's all white flowers up here. Been here before though. People like to stand along these places and take photos. That's the other reason. I like those walkways on the top there as well. So people just come to the hill here. They pay a small fee to entry, about 50 baht. I think they charged Anne more for me because they went foreigner, more money. It's not a national park, it's just a personal choice that they're charging more as a private area. But still, all of it supports the local economy. It's not a big issue for me. 50 baht at the end of the day. That sort of white flower area and then the red flower area does add a lot of contrast up here. It's funny, if you stay in these glamping sort of areas, just driving along the mountains, there's a lot of cafes, little restaurants. So I'm sure if you're just glamping up here for a couple of nights, you're going to easily find places to eat along here. It's not a bad setup here. Nice place just to come and get some photos and just relax a little bit. I just got to say too, apparently you can park down the bottom and get a bus to take you to the top. But we drove halfway and paid 40 baht anyway to park. And then we had a little bit of a walk as well from that sort of area in the distance there where you can see a bit of a roof. That's where we parked our car. And so there is parking. If you've got a motorbike, there's parking as well. Up the top here, right at the entrance. So you can just zoom up here. If you've got a motorbike. Car, it's a little bit harder. Exactly. These two here. So this next random place, I haven't been here in a couple of years actually, and now it's got a whole bunch of glamping sort of built around it, little resorts up here in the mountains, and another sort of beautiful area up here, and that sort of Mae Rim up in the mountains area past Mon Jam, where we were earlier, just in the gardens. But just look at this, it's a great lookout point. Pay about 50 baht or so to enter. I think it's a little bit more for me, who knows, but just to come and walk around the garden and take some beautiful photos. But yeah, lots of options here, it seems, to stay and glamp, and I wouldn't mind giving it a try up here actually. See, so you can drive to the top here, park your motorbike or park your car. The only thing is the road's really shitty driving to the top of the hill here, and it's only a one-way street actually, but cars are going up and down it. But yeah, I'd say just drive to the top here if you've got a car or motorbike, or pay for the bus to drive you to the top. So just walking around the gardens here, but there's the sort of cabins and glamping here on the hill. If you're looking at just staying for a quiet weekend away in the mountains here, could be an option for you. And some of them I noticed have bathtubs in the front of them. Oh yeah, I can see one down there has a bathtub. Let's see if I can show you guys. Well, just walk down here a little bit further. If we're looking at the glamping or cabins. So just look at the cabins down there. So they have a bathtub on the front. I guess it's just for the theme, because you're not exactly going to get naked and go bathing there. It's probably you're getting your swimmers and just sit in the bathtub and chill out. That would be my thinking. So all to their own, I say. If you take the bath literally, you might find yourself getting a lot of attention. And there's more cabins up on the hill there as well. Other places you can stay, chill and have a good weekend away. Probably a better viewpoint from at the top there. But it seems like this whole mountain here has just got resorts all the way up, these glamping resorts. But you just look, those whole mountains are just scattered with these sort of resorts. So they can get this nice viewpoint of the mountains over there. And I suppose the garden here too, if you're in those upper areas. Then you got all the farms up there growing their fresh produce up in the mountains. Got a few little stores there where you can get snacks and a bit of street food. But overall, it's a beautiful area. I'd like to give it a go, just to stay up here in one of the cabins, I think. So at this point, it was time to head back to Chiang Mai. But oh my God, the scenery was extremely beautiful up here, and Mon Jam is definitely worth a visit. So we ended the day trying this Vietnamese restaurant in Sarapi in 89 Plaza area. And oh my God, the food was extremely nice here and extremely fresh. It was a nice little Vietnamese restaurant, and yeah, I'd probably come back here and eat here again because I enjoyed the food. Like, look at these vegetables, look at those prawns, the meat there. Everything was just so fresh and delicious. Yep. Even this soup here, it was amazing. It was just really tasty. So yes, we ended the day at 89 Plaza, having My Vietnam, the restaurant here, for dinner, and the food was absolutely delicious here. If you're in Sarapi and 89 Plaza, definitely give My Vietnam a go. We loved it, but that's how we're ending our Sunday. if you like these sort of videos, hit like and please subscribe as I continue to put up videos.